Hi guys, I'm back. Did you miss me? How could you, huh? Anyway, as promised, this next video is about my experiences in Dunnwoody, Georgia. So if you are looking to move to Dunnwoody, Georgia, or you just nosy and want to see what I've been up to out there, keep watching. So when I first moved to Atlanta, to the Buckhead area, I actually had no idea where Lenox Square Mall was at all. I actually thought it was really, really far away. I used to catch the bus and train to get to Lenox, and the bus and train would take me like 30 minutes or so to get to Lenox, because I would catch the bus to Lindbergh, and then I would catch the train from Lindbergh train station to Lenox station, and then walk from there to the mall. If I wanted to go to Lenox Mall, that's how I would get to the mall. And I did that for quite a while. So the mall that I was going to when I first got here actually was Perimeter Mall. And in order to get to the Perimeter Mall, I would have to catch the number 5 bus off of Piedmont and Roswell Road. So I would have to walk. So I lived maybe like 6 blocks from that intersection. So I would have to walk up the hill over to this stop across from the Walgreens. And then I would do about a half an hour bus ride to the Perimeter Mall, and then you have to walk from the bus station area across the street through the parking garage to get to the Perimeter Mall. That was my all the time routine. If I wanted to go to the mall, if I needed to go to the mall, get my daughter stuff, if we wanted to eat, just get out the house. That is how we did that, okay? So going to the Perimeter Mall was cool, because coming from that side of the mall, there was Nordstrom there. Nordstrom has a cafe, so me and my daughter would go have lunch at the Nordstrom cafe. I had like a few select stores I would go to, of course the Macy's, but I would just go a couple places. But usually if we went to the Perimeter Mall, it was to have lunch, just get out the house, maybe go to that Godiva, Victoria's Secret. There was BB at the time. That was like a store I really liked. It was a really big deal. So go check that out. I think they had a True Religion store in that mall at the time. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and then of course go look in the Nordstrom a little bit. It just depended if they were having a big sale or not. And then that was it. So going to that mall when I would take my daughter like for school shopping, the biggest takeaway from that was it was always some type of credit card scam going on. Sharp left here, guys. There was always some type of credit card scam thing going on whenever I went to this mall. I would be approached. I remember this guy was trying to date me, I guess, right? This is when I'm learning the culture, right? This guy was trying to date me. He said he was going to meet me at the mall, me and my daughter. He was affiliated some kind of way with Foot Locker. If anyone's familiar with Foot Locker, their employees get a huge discount. It's like a couple of times a year where they're offered like a 50% off discount, and it's like at a maximum. It's like a dollar amount, a maximum. They could get whatever shoes they want. They're 50% off, and then there's like some other crazy discount program the Foot Locker employees get. And so he's telling me like I'm going up to the mall to get shoes, and he collects shoes. I don't know, he has 1,300 pairs of shoes. Who cares? So he asked me like, oh, does your daughter want anything or need anything or whatever? I'm like, I don't know. That's cute. I'm thinking he's being sweet. Okay, poor naive me. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's sweet. I don't know. We'll come up there and just look or whatever. So she picked a pair of these Huaraches shoes, and literally the next thing you know, okay, the guy's like, okay, these are the ones you want. Okay, cool. Well, we'll take care of it. Is there anywhere else you want to go? Look, basically like, I'll bring the shoes to you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So there were a couple of shoe stores next door and stuff that we wanted to look at. So we just went on, started looking at the shoes at different stores. Now he finally comes out the store with the shoes, but they're not in the bag, like the store bag. They're just kind of like there. And then he's like, well, it ended up being this much, which was, I don't know, let's say it was like $40. He's like, well, they ended up being $40. I was like, oh, that's good. Wow. I'm like, you really do have a great discount. How much were they originally? I don't know what he's trying to say to me. To me, it's a conversation, right? But I've started noticing his demeanor, like, give me the $40. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you sharing this information with me because you want me to pay you for it? I'm like, why are the shoes not in a bag? Like, what? Where's the Foot Locker bag? He's like, oh, you want a bag? Then he goes back in there, whatever happens. We go in this hoop store. So I started telling my daughter, like, I don't like what's going on. I'm not really clear what is going on with this guy and supposedly his relationship with this store. And supposedly that's his cousin or whomever that works at this store. It's just getting real, swirlish and windy, and it just it's falling apart, guys, rapidly. It's falling apart before my eyes. All I know is I ended up making up an excuse to go to the restroom and disappearing from this guy because I was like, I think this guy is in here boosting or doing some weird crap. Maybe he's worked out a deal with somebody that works at Foot Locker and he's giving them whatever, a couple of dollars to get whatever he wants and walk up out of there and just act like XYZ. But I don't want no part of it. Now, another time that I went to the Perimeter Mall to take my daughter school shopping, went to Nordstrom. They were having one of their anniversary sales. I'm buying my daughter, jeans, tops, blah, 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 because I don't like going to the mall and staying up in there all day. I like to just get in there, get what I want, get up out of there. I'm finished with that. Go sit down, have a nice meal, relax my nerves. That's me. So I'm in the store with my daughter. I'm like, look, get on the rack. Here's a bunch of sale racks. Find you like every color jean, a white, black, a light, a dark, a medium. Like, get you like 7-10 pairs of jeans. Get you some nice solid tops, long sleeves, short sleeves, all this different. We have a plan. You know what I mean? I'm like, find you a couple of dresses to wear to church, all-purpose dresses that you might want to wear. You guys have an activity or a field trip. You end up wanting to go to something, like find you some nice everyday dresses, find you something for church, whatever. Now we get to the register. Now in my mind, because I'm like telling her prices, like I don't want the tops more than this each. I don't want the bottoms more than that each. So in my mind, it's like $700. We're like, it's $700 in here. So we go to the register, everything brings up. The lady's like, $1,500. I'm like, wow, what did I buy? Right? So she's like, oh, I'm like, let's go through here. I said, well, how many items are over $50? Let's take all the items over $50 off of here. Because the sign says this, I'm expecting it to be this price. I don't have time for this. She's like, oh, okay. So she starts taking all the items over $50 off. It went down to like $900. I'm like, I still got other stores to go to, and I really didn't want to spend more than $700 in here. So I'm like, well, how many items in here are over $40? She's like, okay. Then she pulls her stuff down. So now she's like $700. Now, when I get in this department, there's nobody in there but me and my daughter. And when I put the stuff up there to pay, it's just me and the cashier. Well, after I start going through all these changes, she's bringing me up. Now it's a superiorly long line. And there's this one particularly lady behind me with her child that insists that she can wait and she's just going to shop. So she's like, oh, well, I just got this one pair of white jeans. I'll just go on and look at these clearance racks over here, because the lady's redirecting everybody like, hey, you can go to that register over there. This is going to be a little bit of time. Go ahead on and go to that register, go to this register. I'm like, oh, okay. So when I start telling her, whoa, this is more than I thought, let's look in these bags and see, because she's throwing, after she's packaging, scanning everything, she's packaging everything up and throwing it across the table behind her. So now I've walked on the other side of the table to reopen everything up to see, like, what do we get? I thought, and so when I did that, this card fell out of the bag. Well, I picked the card up, threw it back in the bag, thinking it was one of the price tags. And then something was like, wait a minute, because of the consistency, the thickness of the card, I was like, that felt a little bit more substantial than a price tag. But I'm like, well, this is Nordstrom. So I went back in the bag. It was my credit card. So I was like, wow, did I have the credit? I'm thinking in my mind, like, did I get so distracted that I had my card in my hand and I threw it in this bag? Or did I just let it drop out my hand because I'm so concentrated on what did I buy? Like, what happened? So I'm just kind of like, okay, who cares? Let's stay focused and get up out of here and, pay for this stuff and go. Literally, that lady that said she didn't have to, she wasn't in a rush, she was standing on the other side of the register. So you can see when they swipe your card on the screen, all of my contact information and all that information. I'm not thinking nothing about it. I'm like, okay, this lady, she's shopping, she's doing whatever she's doing. Let me get my stuff. So I leave. Boom. Okay, finally we get, everything in order. I bought the stuff. I'm like, come on. I want to go to another store. So when I'm getting ready to leave out back into the mall, there's a E-bar, Nordstrom's version of like Starbucks. So I'm like, oh,
Poshmark. Now, best in sweat speech off.
Sorry about that. Forgot to turn that off. Anyway, so I'm thinking, yeah, let me go ahead on and get me something to drink from the E-bar, right? So I go over there, I'm swiping my Nordstrom card because you get points. If you guys don't know, you get points and it turns into Nordstrom notes. And I use my Nordstrom notes to eat dinner over there because it adds up really quickly, and they're like $20 each. Each Nordstrom note is like worth $20. So it's easy to rack up like $60, $70 and go sit down and have a nice meal in their restaurant, which I recommend all day long. And if you guys want me to do a video on what do I eat at the Nordstrom cafe, I will definitely let you know. And if you want to know which one is better, because there is a difference between the Perimeter Mall Nordstrom Cafe and the the Phipps Plaza Nordstrom Cafe, I will definitely do that video. I am going to do a video today of my top places to eat in the Atlanta area, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you where, because we have a lot of the same places all over town, but it is not the same food. Okay, enough about that. So literally I go to give her, the person, my card so that I can pay, and they're like, oh, it says something about contact the issuer. So I'm like, oh, that's fine, because I just used the card in several departments in the store. I'm like, they probably just want to make sure it's me. I give her my debit card, like, here, let me give you my debit card. I'm ready to go, and then I'll call them, when I get done. So boom, leave. I go to a couple more stores. We finish up the school shopping. So now I'm walking back across the parking garage to leave, and I get an email alert, and it says, please contact Nordstrom right away. Possible fraud, blah blah blah. I'm like, really? So I called the phone number, and while I'm on my way leaving, and sure enough, they're like, hey, we noticed that you were doing some shopping in the Perimeter Mall, blah, blah, blah. But then we see a large purchase order for a flagship store in I think they told me Washington. They're like, we know it wasn't you though. I'm like, wow. So what happened was when I was at that register and my price came up to the astronomical price, the girl had added stuff that wasn't even mine. That's why she was expecting for me to be absent-minded, like who cares, because she sees me in here just buying up all this stuff with my daughter. So she thinks I'm one of these women that, oh, I'm expecting to pay thousands, and so let me add a couple of things of mine in her order, and she won't. Oops. And you know what? It almost worked because literally when she said the one, I'm just like so much in the mind frame of let's just get it and go. And whatever I don't want or whatever, I'll talk to them about that another time. I almost swiped that card. Like, yep, let me go. And then I was like, wait a minute, I don't want to spend $1,500 though. Let me give myself a couple ounces of patience here and work through this, because I definitely didn't add up nothing nowhere near $1,500. Then when that lady who said, oh, I'm not in a rush, blah blah blah, she actually, when I put my card down, because I was getting ready to swipe it, but instead I put it down and I said, well, what did I get? She took the card out from in front of my face, right? And slid it behind her to the lady who said that she doesn't have to leave. She is going to look at the clearance racks. And that's when that lady was standing behind her at the table, acting like she was waiting. No, she was getting my card information, and then she was looking at the screen to get my contact information so she could match everything. So when she placed her order, she would have everything that she needed to be successful in placing her order. And then when the girl put my packages of proof items that I said, okay, yeah, I want that stuff. Now let's go through this bag. She threw the bag on the table behind her, and that other girl slapped the card up in there and tied it up. And that's how when I went around there to re-look at things the second time, that's when my card fell out. So this is the kind of foolery that goes on at the Perimeter Mall. Another thing, Dunnwoody, Georgia, that happens at the Perimeter Mall all the time is panhandling on the way in, while you're sitting down eating at the food court. Get mentally prepared for people to come up to you and ask you for $5 and $10 and pay for their food. Get mentally prepared to sit next to somebody who wants to tell you a long story about how they are a starving artist, or they're coming out with a movie, they're writing a book, but they're homeless. They're in the mall to use the Wi-Fi and charge their devices, because they're figuring out life. They're actually are fighting for custody of their kids because they know their rights, and that their kids actually were stolen from them because they were sleeping in the subway in New York, and they know the rights and the law, and as long as their kids had on clean clothes, socks, and shoes, they could stay together. But the courts took their kids wrongfully and gave them to their father, who has adequate living, running water, roof over his head, and the ability to take care of them. And so they've been fighting for their children, and they currently don't have phone service, but they use Facebook to communicate with their children, and they can use Facebook to communicate with you, for you guys to continue on this. I mean, when I tell you guys the stuff that goes on at Perimeter Mall. Now, let me tell you, no, I'm not going to tell you that right now. That's going to be on that video about the food. Now, living over there. Now, Perimeter Mall area, they have some very nice amenities. I mean, you've got the Super Target over there, which is the only Super Target, period. There, I don't know where another Super Target is in Atlanta, period. All the rest of the Targets are just your general Target. That includes a grocery part, but it's not a Super Target with the full line grocery store, bakery department, and all that. But in Dunnwoody, they have the Super Target, they have the Marshalls, they have a huge plaza. It has TJ Maxx, it has Nordstrom Rack. I mean, they've got their movie theater, the Regal Cinemas. They have a skating rink over there. I mean, they've got all these restaurants. They have a lot of nice things to do. You can get up early on a Saturday morning and go to a car show. They have that in their parking lots all the time, and it is a nice car show. all different types of vehicles, all different types of trucks, motorcycles. What's the name of that other thing? That tripod or whatever, those bikes people, dirt bikes people like to do nowadays. They have car shows. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, look at this. If you want to live over there, get ready. Hold on to your bootstraps, because one part and one side of the mall is DeKalb County, and the other side of the mall is Fulton County. Had no idea. Now, why is that so significant? It is. DeKalb County, if you look it up, just look it up. Just Google DeKalb County. Terrible, 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 terrible. I've never lived in a place that's so pretty and so crazy all at the same time. DeKalb County Courthouse has made partnerships with these condominium owners to start these programs, where diversion programs, where they remove people out of jail that are there due to addictions, whether they're drug addictions, DUIs, whether they need counseling, it's been deemed they have mental illness. So they've made these diversion programs linked to therapeutic programs. So it's saying like, okay, we'll let you out of jail as long as you're registered and under the care of this company, this counseling program. And the counseling programs take them back and forth to their therapy, whether it's counseling and your treatment center, where you're going through withdrawal, you're getting your proper medications to treat your mental illness, to help you with whatever your addictions are, get you off the drugs, whatever it is. It's a whole program. Now, you need to know stuff like this. You need to know when you are signing up, you go to these beautiful, I'm talking about, look so pretty. Like, ooh, yes, got the parking garage, got the gardens, got the saltwater pools. They have the doggy parks. They have the movie rooms you can rent out. I mean, everything is lush. It's beautiful. It's plush. They got the cobblestone driveways. I mean, it's gorgeous. They have the upgraded kitchens, all black appliances. I mean, you're like, oh my, I've made it. They've got the huge pillars in the kitchen, in the dining area. They've got the blacked out fireplaces with the wall length windows overlooking these beautiful, landscaping. I mean, seriously. It is so posh. It's so nice, right? But your neighbors, who are they? When you think that you're living in a community of people who are thriving, they work, you know what I mean? Like couples, people that have careers, you're thinking like people that live over here go to work. They work, they chill, you know what I'm saying? But no, the neighbor under you is fighting and threatening to shoot her boyfriend, her husband, or whatever, because she's pregnant, and they're screaming. You have roach infestations here. Yeah, roach infestations to the point you're seeing centipedes. The centipedes, those things that look like caterpillars that eat roaches. I mean, when I tell you the foolery that goes on, you get water alerts all the time talking about how they've cut off the water, how the water contamination level is too high. There's something going on with the filtration system with the water department. They'll let you know when they're going to turn the water back on. They do not they are not endorsing or supporting the use of the water. And then when you go to Chick-fil-A around the corner to go get that Arnold Palmer, when your mouth is all ready for it, and then they tell you, I'm sorry, we didn't do any tea today because the water, we can't use anything that's going to cause us to have to use water. We can't use it today. Oh, wow. The water problem is that bad? You can't get an Arnold Palmer at the local Chick-fil-A? Not on the DeKalb County side of Dunnwoody. No, you can't, guys. And this is a normal occurrences over there. Oh, on top of that, you're thinking your neighbors are so nice because they're always outside and they're always greeting you and asking you, telling you stuff. Oh, I'll help you with your dog. I'll help you with this and that. Come to find out, they're in a sobriety house, and half of or a third of the units where you live are sobriety houses. So that means those same counseling programs, those same diversion programs, partnerships with the courthouse, have the 3-bedroom townhouse with 3 persons in the program per bedroom. So it's 9 of these guys in this 3-bedroom. And the reason why they're always outside and talking to everybody is because they have nothing else to do in between the time they're not in their counseling sessions, right? So they don't have work, they don't have transportation. Some kind of way they, finagled $25 to go get a phone from Walmart across the street, and then finagle Wi-Fi so they can create profiles and talk to people and pretend and all this other mess. And it is just, then boom, next thing you know, the mailbox center has gotten vandalized. All your mail is gone. Everybody's mail packages is gone. Now the mailman won't come over to deliver your mail. You have to come to the post office to get your mail and show your identification. And then your car gets stolen from over there. Your U-Haul gets stolen over there, because these guys are lurkers and they have nothing else to do. And that's the thing I don't like about these diversion programs. It's like they start off with good intentions and they have a direction, but they really don't. They don't have a direction because they don't treat the 100%, the fullness of the situation. Okay, great. You've got these guys dealing with their addictions, dealing with their mental illness, dealing with whatever it is. Great. But they also need fulfillment. So they need career advancement. They need guidance. They need to address other issues they have, whether it's dyslexia or literacy issues. They're illiterate. They can't read. They need some other issues addressed as well. Don't have grown people in a situation where they have no way to sustain themselves or meet their common needs. It's not enough because they're just out of jail. They're still in jail. When you handicap a person, when you don't put them in a position to exercise their free will, their desires, their independence, when you don't give them the tools and the skills necessary to thrive, that's a form of incarceration. They're looking at everybody else thriving and doing whatever they want to do, and they're just standing behind this invisible wall, and they're in this cage of wish and regret and why. Okay, after a while, they get tired, they get resentful. Like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead on and take Sally's car. I'm just going to go ahead on and rip off Nick because they can get some more. But nobody's thinking or helping me get my own. So I'm just going to do this right here because that makes sense after a while. But that's the problem. You should be able to work with these criminals, work with these people. They're not, and I don't like the word criminal because I feel like they are a victim of their circumstance. And you can say all day, like, well, they're choosing. That's what their choice is. No, it's not their choice. It's their limitation. Now, after you give them the skills and the opportunity to do more and be more, if they choose then to scale it back and go into that, okay, now you are a criminal because you have everything you need to be more. And you're choosing to do this foolery. So that's fine. But I just definitely say these counseling programs that are getting these approvals, they need to have more involved. They need to also have employment opportunities, and it needs to be a requirement. Hey, if you're going to get out and stay here and be a part of this program, when you're not in these counseling sessions, you will work 4 days a week. These are the jobs that we have lined up. You're going to start with this. If you don't like it, you need to find you something else, but you cannot leave these employers until you have secured the next employment. We're going to help you get a bank account and start saving your money and helping you. We're going to move forward as if we know that you're going to be able to stay out of jail and get on your own feet and have your own place. And when this program is over in 6 to 12 months, you can walk away with something like cash on hand so you can move into your place and furnish your place and keep progressing and feeling proud about the decisions. Like, you know what, I want more of this, so I'm gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other because I want more. But when you just treat one point, you don't just, oh, okay, we're just gonna deal with your counseling issues and that's it, and we're content because the state just pays us $1,200 for each one of y'all every month. So the rest of that stuff, we're gonna have somebody else, another program's gonna have to help you with that stuff. Well, there goes the neighborhood. And that's what goes on in Perimeter Mall area, Dunnwoody, Georgia. It's a lot of crime. When I tell you a lot of crime, a lot of unreported crime goes on. The amount of, when I lived over there, not only did my U-Haul truck get stolen, which I never thought a 22-foot U-Haul truck could get stolen, but it did. My truck got stolen from over there as well. The story I just told you about the mailbox center, I mean, we're talking about, it's not one of those you walk up to it, put your key in there and open and get your mail and leave, even though that's happened to me too in South Buckhead. I'm talking about, it's an actual building with a door that you have to have a key fob to wand and then to unlock the door, and then you walk in there, go to your mailbox, just like out at the post office. You got to get through a door first and come into the mailbox house. And that somebody got in there and vandalized, tore up the whole, I'm talking about broke into everybody's mailboxes. I mean, it was just a memory of mail. And it was around holiday time, which I imagine, I mean, people really go through it during the holidays. They're lonely, they're frustrated. That's when they really start realizing their life mistakes, and they're like angry, and they're like, oh, I'm tired of watching these people be happy and have families. Where's mine? Especially if they never have. These people, some of these people are orphans and stuff like this. They've been in foster homes, group homes their whole life. They've been waiting on this magical moment to have a family, to be the one to celebrating Thanksgiving, cutting a turkey and all this stuff like this. And it never happens. Okay, damn it, you know what? I'm going to break into this mailbox and I'm having me a great Thanksgiving this year. Forget it. All these people getting packages, I'm getting me some packages. I'm telling you, this is what goes on. You be like, really? And I'm talking about the DeKalb County. Had I known I was moving to the DeKalb County side of the mall, never, guys, never. So definitely pay attention. Perimeter Mall, Dunnwoody, Georgia is beautiful. It is really nice. It takes you in. It really does. You'll be like, oh, it's so nice. You will smile. You will really enjoy. They got this really nice Woodhouse Day Spa over there. They have great amenities, activities. They've got Alon's Bakery. Is so good. Oh my gosh. If you live over there, if you live in neighboring cities, if you don't mind driving 30 minutes, go to Alon's Bakery. Oh, so good, guys. So good. And I'll talk about that in detail on my video. But the things that go on, I have had Uber driver after Uber driver pick me up and be like, wow, you live over here. I just moved out of here. They used to break into my Mercedes so much. I just started leaving the doors unlocked. I was so sick of filing claims. Like, it would happen so much till my apartment let me out of my lease. I've had ladies tell me, and men too, oh, I just moved out of here. When I first moved in here, it was like $1,000 a month for the apartment. Then when it was time to renew my lease, they tried to charge me for everything. The washer and the dryer, for parking, for the key fob. They tried to raise my rent to $1,600. Oh, the roach infestation here is when I tell you, it is crazy living on that doggone DeKalb County side of the Perimeter Mall. No. And people be like, oh, the taxes in Fulton County are so high. Pay them taxes and sleep good at night, because you are forking over the bucks one way or another. You're going to fork over the bucks on insurance claims and buying new vehicles and putting all these contraptions on your property cause you can be alarmed and set all these different notifications and cameras and stuff, so you can see when these fools get ready to come up with the next genius idea. Like, you're gonna spend the money one way or another. So just realize that, what is it? Don't judge a book by its cover. No, read a couple pages, y'all. Go through that table of contents, read the back summary, and go ahead on and Google some reviews. Go through the Google reviews. And another thing, if they approve you in 15 minutes, if you can move in the same day that you went over there and did the tour, you might want to slow that party down right there. You might want to think about that right there. Like, ooh, really? I can move in right now. Go to Google right then and there, Yelp, all of it, and go on and look at those reviews carefully. Because it may glitter and it may really look like gold. But it just might be gold plated, y'all. So anyway, I have really enjoyed making this video for you all as usual. I would like to end this on a positive note as far as Dunnwoody, Georgia. Like I said before, tons of beautiful places to live there. Tons of restaurants and amenities. They have great churches in the area. There's every type of style living you want, from the 3-story townhomes to the beautiful homes, to the country club living, to the skyscraper condominium lifestyle. One thing that I noticed too about Dunnwoody is that you really have to look and see about getting a bathtub. And that's for Sandy Springs too. If you're going to rent and get in these luxury, quote unquote, luxury apartments, you really need to go in there and double check if you're getting a bathtub, because it'll take you away. It'll be breathtaking. It'll be like, oh, this is so nice. Yes, look at the views. Oh, I've got a patio. Oh, I've got this. Oh, look at my closet. Ooh, yes, look at the kitchen. You'll be all doing that. And then you go to that bathroom and like, where's the tub? Oh no, we only got a shower. This one only comes with the showers. Oh wow. See, I'm big about everything, because $3,000 a month, I should have garden tubs, guys. $3,000 a month, I should have garden tubs. Yeah, I should have garden tubs, guys. So no, I don't compromise on that. I want plenty of space. I want a linen closet. I want cabinetry. I want and I need that stuff. So I don't want to feel slam dunked in my bathroom. I want space. I want a vanity area. There's just things that I want and I need, and I cannot compromise on that, especially for the money that I'm putting into something that I will never own, right? There's a reason why I'm willing to rent. So definitely look at that. Definitely consider those things. Definitely Google reviews. Take your time. Maybe circle the block at daytime and nighttime. And you may just benefit more from living, 10 miles away and just coming on in when you want to shop and then go back home. That may be the move to make versus, the ups and downs that go on in Dunnwoody, Georgia. Okay, guys. Do I still shop in Dunnwoody? Yes, I was just there yesterday at the Dillard's. Why? There's no Dillard's over here in Buckhead or Sandy Springs. The closest Dillard's over here is Atlantic Station. And then after that, I think I have to go into Alpharetta to go to Dillard's. And I don't like that Dillard's over there. I don't really like Atlantic Station. And I can do a video and talk to you guys about why I don't like Atlantic Station. In short, a lot of things have closed down there. It's not what it used to be. And I could talk to you guys about that if you want to see that video next. But I'm definitely going to do a video on my favorite places to eat, where and why, things I like to eat off the menu. I think that's going to be fun. And so definitely look at that. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching. As always, all of your support, your sharing, your liking, it puts me in the algorithm in the search so people can find my channel. All your sharing just grows the community, which helps me and allows me to help people with visual impairment have access to technology and training and education. And it's important, guys. These agencies and these programs out here, they're federally funded, but they are not taking care of us at all. These state programs, I don't know who gets state money on behalf of the blind, because no one I've met, and trust me, I know a lot of visually impaired people up from coast to coast, and none of us reap the rewards of the state programs for the blind. It's one of these things, you just gotta do what you gotta do and create what you need. And that's what this channel is all about. It's about showing you guys, bringing you all into the reality of persons with impairment. We have a life, we have needs, we have desires, we have dreams. Guess what else? We do things that you do. Yeah, with the impairment, we do things that you do. We think like you do. We have preferences, you know what I'm saying? We have things that we like, we enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Some people will think because I can't see that I still don't want to shine. They'll be like, "Oh, what do you know about Louis Vuitton? Why would that be important to you, right? Why would a Furla bag or why would shopping at Saks matter to you?" Well, that's pretty ignorant of you. For one, just keep it right here. Visually impaired means that I have heightened senses, right? And that means that my touch is giving me a lot of information. It's giving me tons. Me doing a 2-3 second feel of something tells me a world of information. It tells me about the quality. It tells me about how old it is, how clean it is, how dirty it is. It tells me all kinds of things. So persons with visual impairment actually have impeccable taste. And those that do not have those things, it's not because they don't want them or desire them, it's just because they don't have the resources to do so. But put a visually impaired person in the position of wealth, you will be amazed at the things that they choose, and visually it is so appealing. And persons with vision will be like, wow, you picked this stuff, wow, this is so nice, this is so comfortable, this is so pretty, this is so this and that, because they think because the absence of a sense, the absence of vision means that you still don't want to be in that realm, or you can't appreciate the ambience or the comforts or the style or the feeling of, right? Because some things you do because of the feeling. You like looking good. You like the glimmer of the gold or the glimmer of the platinum or the shine of the silver. You like having a pop of color on your lips. It makes you happy. It makes you excited. You know what I'm saying? You like the silkiness of your hair or the way your skin glows when you use this particular product, and the suppleness and the richness and the you know there's many reasons why a person makes a decision. It's not so much or all about the cost. Oh, I need to look like I spent 10,000 on my outfit every day. Why is a person willing to put $10,000 on their body every day? It's more than just because other people need to know I can, or because that's the realm that I want to attract, or I just need to stunt on. No, it's because the energy, right? That makes sense. That's a value to them. It adds value when to be a reflection of one's energy. It's not enough to just, you get tired of dropping $10,000 if you're not about that life. You get, that gets old quickly. Because you start thinking, dang, that's 2 cars. I dropped $20,000 this week on 2 outfits. Man, I could have had 2 cars. That's a down payment on a house. So definitely understand that absence of a sense has nothing to do with or indicate the level of a person's wants, needs, and desires. Okay, get to know me. Get to know each person as an individual. Don't put nothing else on it. Take you out the equation. Just listen and lay back and get an experience. That's what you do. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to get to asking too many questions. My dad be like, come on, go with me. We getting ready to go somewhere. I'd be like, okay, Daddy, where we going? He'd be like, just lay back. Just enjoy the ride. my little feelings used to get hurt. Like, ooh, what? He'd be like, just sit back, baby. Just put your seatbelt. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Like, and I would be quiet. You know, my little feelings get touched, but it's real. Just sit back and enjoy this ride. That's what you need to do when you get to know people. If that's what your goal is, if your goal is to get to know them, connect with them, and have something, then get to know them. Let them tell you, let you know, share with you. And you do the same for them about you. Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm working on this time thing. And I will see you all in the next one.
Speech on. Viewfinder. Image. Viewfinder. Stop.